Imagine you wake up on a peaceful morning in the United States, sunlight streaming through the windows as you contemplate the day ahead. You might be well into your 70s and feeling a natural curiosity about your future. How much time you'll have to share with loved ones, create new memories, and remain independent. There's nothing wrong with wondering about what life still holds. Rather than stirring up worry or dread, let's approach this topic as an opportunity. Doctors and researchers point to a few simple tests that may offer clues about how strong and resilient your body is, especially after age 75. These tests aren't meant to predict your lifespan with perfect accuracy, but they do help reveal aspects of your functional health. With the right perspective, they can serve as friendly indicators, encouraging you to keep moving, stay engaged, and take positive steps. Let's explore 5 such tests and see how they might highlight areas where you can make small, meaningful improvements. We'll share short stories of people like you, everyday folks across the country, who faced these challenges and found ways to adapt. You might discover something here that motivates you to celebrate each new day and continue living with spirit and joy. First up is the single leg balance test. Simply try standing on one foot for about 10 seconds. If you can manage that comfortably, it's a solid sign of balance and lower body strength. If you can't, don't be alarmed. Consider it a gentle wake-up call. Take Earl, a 76-year-old from Seattle. One morning, his granddaughter playfully challenged him to a flamingo stance. He laughed, gave it a shot, and nearly toppled over after a few seconds. Earl felt a twinge of concern, but he took it in stride, realizing that this balancing act could help him avoid falls down the line. He started practicing every day, holding onto a chair for support at first, aiming for just a few seconds at a time. Over weeks of steady effort, he saw improvement. Doctors say that being able to balance on one foot can indicate good neuromuscular coordination. If you struggle, you can build up that ability with simple exercises, like mini squats or standing on tiptoe while steadying yourself on a countertop. These moves help strengthen ankles, legs, and core muscles. If 10 seconds seems out of reach right now, start with 5 or even 3. Balance can improve with practice at nearly any age. The key is to be consistent, not perfect. By embracing this challenge in a relaxed, curious way, rather than feeling defeated, you might protect yourself from falls, stay mobile, and preserve your independence. Moving on to the second test, grip strength. Whether it's opening a pickle jar or shaking hands with an old friend, your grip can reflect your overall muscle vitality. Research suggests a link between weaker grip strength and higher mortality risk in older adults. But it's not meant to spark fear. Think of it as motivation to stay active. Sandra, a 78-year-old from Ohio, used to have a handshake her friends jokingly called the iron clasp. Recently, she noticed trouble twisting lids off jars, and it bothered her more than she let on. Instead of just living with that frustration, she tried simple exercises with a squeeze ball and did light hand weight curls. Over time, her grip improved enough to open jars again without help. If you'd like to measure your grip more formally, some clinics use a handheld tool called a dynamometer, but you can also trust everyday tasks. If you're losing grip strength, it's your body's way of telling you to engage in gentle resistance work. Activities like light gardening can help too. Pulling weeds or using small tools exercises your hands. A stronger grip correlates with better functional health overall, so don't ignore those jar-striping struggles. Keep in mind that progress is gradual, and even small gains can make daily tasks more comfortable. Our third test focuses on walking speed, sometimes called the gait speed test. Doctors observe how quickly you can cover a short distance at a comfortable pace. Many people simply note how they feel walking around the house or to the mailbox. If you're much slower than you used to be, it could hint at reduced muscle strength or cardiovascular fitness. Picture Henry in Colorado, who loved hiking in his 60s but found himself winded just walking to the kitchen in his late 70s. He worried he was falling apart, but instead of giving in to that fear, he checked with his doctor, who encouraged him to take very short walks, just down the driveway, then build up gradually. Henry also did mild aerobic exercises at home, like marching in place or stepping side to side while holding the back of a chair for balance. Research links slower gait speed to higher mortality risk, but it's also true that walking speed can improve with a bit of dedication. Even if you use a cane or walker, you can practice moving just a bit farther each day, always listening to your body and resting if needed. Walking remains one of the most accessible forms of exercise. Over time, you may notice that as your speed picks up even slightly, you feel more energetic and confident. Keeping your legs moving can do wonders for circulation, muscle health, and mood. And remember, it's not about winning a race, it's about maintaining a life rhythm that keeps you engaged with the world. The fourth test is the sit-to-stand challenge. How easily can you stand up from a chair without using your arms for assistance? Some professionals advise counting how many times you can do this within 30 seconds. Getting up from a seated position requires leg power, core stability, and balance. Marjorie, age 82, from California, noticed she had to push herself up from the sofa with both hands. Worried, she decided to turn this into a personal project. She started with slow, supported stands, maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, taking breaks between each attempt. In a few weeks, she was doing more repetitions with less effort. Experts linked difficulty in this area to potential frailty, but as Marjorie discovered, little steps can lead to big differences. Regular practice, like carefully doing chair squats with or without support, can help you maintain the ability to get in and out of chairs, cars, and beds. Even a small improvement might mean you feel safer moving around the house. The sit-to-stand test can be a quick daily check. If it starts getting easier, you'll know your lower body strength is increasing. If it remains tough, you'll know it's a key area to address. Don't get discouraged if progress feels slow. Think of every stand-up as a vote for better mobility and independence. Last but not least is the ability to pick something up from the floor. Do you struggle to bend down for dropped keys or items? Many seniors fear bending over, worried about back pain or falling. Robert, a 79-year-old in New Orleans, felt a sharp tug in his lower back one day while reaching for a record he'd dropped. He realized he was avoiding any motion that required bending. Determined to stay self-reliant, he started mild stretching, slowly squatting to retrieve light objects. Over a few months, he could bend with more confidence and less discomfort. Being able to pick up items from the floor requires a mix of balance, flexibility, and core support. If this is a challenge, consider chair-assisted yoga or gentle stretching routines that keep your muscles limber. You can start with very shallow bends, holding a sturdy surface, and slowly work your way down. By making small improvements in mobility, you reduce the chances of sudden twists or falls. It's not about reclaiming the agility you had at 30. Rather, it's about preserving or even enhancing your current capabilities so you remain empowered in everyday life. By now you've seen how these 5 tests, one-leg balance, grip strength, walking speed, sit-to-stand, and floor reach, can serve as windows into your overall physical resilience. Think of them as functional markers rather than strict pass-or-fail trials. While it's true that research links better performance in these areas with higher survival rates, that doesn't mean you're doomed if you score low. It simply means you have an opportunity to focus on specific exercises that can boost your balance, strength, and flexibility, no matter your age. Everyone's body is unique, shaped by genetics, lifestyle, and personal experiences. Some people might breeze through the tests in their late 70s, while others in their 60s might find them challenging. The upside is that targeted effort, guided by your doctor or physical therapist, can lead to gradual improvement. The real aim is to maintain independence, reduce fall risk, and keep enjoying the small pleasures of daily life without feeling trapped by your body's limitations. Consider a short composite story. Dorothy, a 75-year-old in Florida, felt disheartened when she realized she was balancing poorly on one foot, walking more slowly, and constantly asking for help opening jars. Instead of letting that fuel panic, she tried these tests at home and treated them like personal checkpoints. With her doctor's blessing, she committed to brief daily exercises, 2 or 3 extra minutes of balance practice, a few squeezes of a stress ball, a slow walk to the mailbox, and very gentle chair stands. She also began squatting just enough to pick up light items. Over time, Dorothy saw real progress. She wasn't turning into a fitness guru, but she felt stronger and more optimistic. She even found a small community of seniors online who swapped tips and cheered each other on. Rather than dwelling on fears of decline, Dorothy now focuses on celebrating every bit of progress. This approach can be a blueprint for anyone feeling uncertain about their physical status. The key is to take it one step at a time, literally and figuratively, and to remain open to adjusting your activities as your body changes. If you're curious, try one or more of these tests yourself, taking care to stay safe. If balancing on one foot seems risky, hold on to a sturdy chair or ask a family member to spot you. If standing without using your arms is too daunting, start by pushing off gently, working to rely a bit less on your hands over time. Want to see if your walking speed has changed? Take a relaxed stroll and notice how winded or secure you feel. Sometimes awareness is half the battle, because once you identify the area you'd like to improve, you can focus on small, consistent actions that encourage better health. It's also wise to speak with a healthcare professional if you notice any dramatic changes. They can make sure there's no underlying medical issue and help guide you towards safe exercises. Remember that the goal of these tests isn't to stress you out with gloom and doom predictions about your remaining years. Many studies note that better performance in such tests correlates with longevity. But longevity itself is about quality of life as well as quantity. Staying mobile and strong means you can continue enjoying the things that bring you joy, like playing with grandkids, exploring nature trails, or simply doing daily chores without constant worry. Activities that promote strength, balance, and flexibility don't need to be strenuous. If you enjoy dancing, you could practice gentle moves in your living room. If you like gardening, you could use it as a low-impact workout for your hands, arms, and legs. The possibilities are endless, as long as you listen to your body and pace yourself. Another beneficial aspect of trying these tests is that they might encourage you to socialize. Many senior centers offer group classes where folks work on balance, leg strength, or flexibility together. Sometimes having a friend to compare progress with or to share stories of minor victories can make all the difference. That sense of community fosters accountability and can help you stick to new routine. Plus, laughter and camaraderie are wonderful for mental health, which also contributes to overall well-being. If you're online, you can share your balance test results or grip strength improvements in comment sections or forums. You'll likely find others who appreciate the inspiration and might offer helpful tips in return. If you're feeling a bit intimidated by the idea of exercise, remember that consistency beats intensity. Doing a few minutes of mindful movement most days can help more than pushing yourself too hard once in a while. Especially for older adults, it's crucial to avoid injuries, so work gently. Be sure to celebrate small wins along the way. Maybe you can stand on one foot for 2 more seconds than before, or you walked a bit farther without needing to rest. These milestones add up, fueling a positive feedback loop that can keep you motivated. Over time, you may surprise yourself with how much progress you've made, even if it's modest. Little steps forward are still steps forward. You might wonder, do these tests really predict my lifespan? The short answer is that they're indicators, not guarantees. Plenty of people who don't perform well on these tests can still live many years, especially if they adopt healthier habits. Conversely, someone who does well but neglects other aspects of health might face challenges. Think of them as useful signposts guiding you toward proactive care. If one test shows a major shortfall, you can devote extra attention to that area, maybe speaking with a physical therapist for specialized exercises. If you do well on a test, you can keep up those habits to maintain that advantage. This approach shifts the focus from fear to empowerment, reminding you that you have agency in how you age. Now, let's bring this all together. We want to emphasize one fundamental lesson. Aging isn't a verdict. It's a stage of life where adaptation, perspective, and hope play leading roles. Sometimes we assume that once we hit 75 or 80, it's too late to see tangible health improvements. But research shows the body remains adaptable for as long as we treat it with care. Even small efforts, like daily stretches, short walks, or a bit of light strength training, can yield better mobility, reduce aches, and boost confidence. That can translate into a richer social life, more time spent with family, and less dependence on others. It's okay to have slower reflexes or diminished strength compared to decades past. The real issue is whether you can still perform essential tasks and engage with life on your terms. By focusing on these 5 tests, you're simply giving yourself a clearer picture of where you stand and where you might head. As a final call to action, try at least one of these tests today, but do it safely. If you like, share your result with a friend in a community group or even in an online comment. This small step might inspire others to see how they're doing too. If you notice an area that worries you, consider speaking with a professional or seeking gentle exercise programs specifically designed for seniors. You never know. You might find yourself joining a Tai Chi class, picking up a new hobby, or reconnecting with neighbors through an evening stroll. The main thing is to approach aging not as an uphill battle you can't win, but as a journey filled with opportunities to adjust, learn, and grow. Here's a simple yet profound parting thought. Human potential doesn't vanish with age. Our bodies may change, but our ability to adapt and find joy remains alive as long as we nurture it. By paying attention to these tests, you're investing in the possibility of more vibrant days ahead. And if you share your optimism and experiences with others, you contribute to a community that refuses to let age define limitation. Instead, we let it define wisdom, resilience, and a steadfast commitment to living fully in every moment we have. This perspective fosters a legacy that goes beyond physical longevity, leaving behind a spirit of courage and hope for those who look up to us. So go ahead, test your balance, gauge your grip, time your walks, practice sitting and standing, and pick something up from the floor with careful attention. Use these checks not as final judgments, but as gentle nudges toward a richer, healthier, more connected life after 75. Each small effort affirms that you're still here, still moving forward, and still capable of growth. And that mindset might be the greatest secret to flourishing in your later years. By valuing both body and spirit, and by sharing that journey with those around you, you forge a legacy that uplifts everyone. Proof that life can continue to blossom in remarkable ways at any age.